Constant rotation, it's all about the wrist.
Today's episode of After the Previews is brought to you by
Audible.com.
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 Over 180,000 titles to choose from on your iPhone, Android, Kindle, MP3 player. Kyle, when was the last time you read a book?
Dude, I think I read like 3 pages out of a book in March this year.
Now tell me this. When was the last time you listened to something?
I listen to something every day.
Exactly, Kyle.
I'm on a podcast network.
That is why Audible is your number one source. Go over to audibletrial.com/constant rotation. That will get you 1 free audiobook download and a free 30-day free trial to try it all out. No questions asked. Cancel at any time. What do you think about that, Kyle?
That sounds awesome. And because I'm pretty sure you get to keep the book too, right?
Yes.
Oh!
Yes. The book is yours. No questions asked. Audible is the place. Audible is the plug. Hey, Kyle.
I'm going to experience a book, and I don't even have to read it.
This is the last time we will ever read.
Yeah! Down with reading! Down with reading!
Hey guys, interrupting your podcast here to bring you a fucking ad in your face, in your ears from the wonderful place of blueberry.com, BLUBRRY.com. That is where you'll get all your podcast hosting, podcast statistics, or if you just need a PowerPress plugin, or you could just go through full PowerPress sites, get it all in one location, one solution, seamless integration with WordPress. Exceeding your monthly storage is not a problem with blueberry.com. You will just get your overage included in the one price that you pay every single month. Replace your archive for free, print your export, print everything, just get it everywhere, pass it out to your homies, pass it out to your grandma, pass it out to your mom, pass it out to your dog, just get everything out there. But Blueberry will let you do that just for one price. Go over there, hit order now on the homepage, go over to the promo code, type in variable, VARIABLE. That is variable, our promo code. It'll get you 1 free month of premium subscriptions from blueberry.com. Shout out to them. Thank you for sponsoring this podcast. If I had to do a poll of like what's the worst day of the week, Josh, what would you say?
Monday.
But like can I get a little bit of a fuck Monday? Can we all do it together? 1, 2, 3. Fuck Monday.
Well, I think Monday would lose in the poll, but personally, I like it.
Josh, what I'm here to tell you is that Mondays are music-oriented. Mondays.
That's why I like them.
Ah, dude, there we go. Where do you go? You go to soundcloud.com/constant and get into that.
Where else would you go?
I don't know, but that is the place where you should be. 8 a.m. every Monday. New in rotation compilation, about 30 tracks. We fuck with hip-hop, fuck with acoustic, fuck with all that shit. All the genres blended together every single week. Josh, one more time. Just what's the worst day of the week?
Not Monday.
Because
Constant rotation is bringing you all those compilations every Monday.
damn, Josh, I like that. Boom.
There's only one hope. It's constant rotation. Viewer discretion is advised.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to After the Previews. This is a special episode for the end of the year where we're going to give you our top 10 most favorite movies we've seen this year. We're also going to mention some movies that we saw and liked but didn't quite make the top 10. Then we're going to talk about some movies that we just did not like at all.
Boom.
Oh, and also we're going to talk about some movies that we wanted to see but didn't quite have the money or time to make it to the theater to see. So, if anything, really, it's more of just a, hey, go see this, let us know if you liked it. Or if you have seen it, let us know if you liked it.
If any studios want to send us screeners, we'd more than happy watch it from home.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I would make it a point to watch every screener they sent me.
2017 is a new year, Kyle, and I'm going to make a precedent that we see a movie, at least between me and you, once a week, whether or not we have to switch it off or whatever, but we got to bring the reviews to our audience and get after the previews reviews, and I need to silence my cell phone.
For sure.
But my name's Garrett, like Kyle said. I'm his co-host every week, pretty much, so if you don't mind my voice, then maybe you can tune in every week. Fridays, correct? After the previous podcast. This is a special episode, though. Kind of heading into the end of 2016, early 2017. Had to break it down, preview some of this shit. Next week, we got the 2017 preview coming out.
Yeah, check it out. We'll let you know what we're looking forward to most next year. Hopefully, they're on your list. If not, that's whatever. Everyone looks forward to different shit, so.
We're not here to tell you that this is the definitive list. This is just our list.
Yep.
Do you want to get into some movies that we didn't see to kind of just be like, yo, these are movies that maybe we are excited to see but didn't happen yet?
Yeah, definitely. That way people aren't so like, oh, why didn't they talk about this movie on our list? I fucking like that one. I can't believe that was not in their top 10.
Again, guys, we're not trying to say that your list isn't as worthy, but this is just after the previews.
Yeah,
Garrett and
absolutely. This is
Kyle's
literally
list.
just like what we liked best. So, I mean, maybe you didn't see some of the movies on our list, and our point for doing this is, yo, go see this movie if you haven't seen it. Go watch it again if you have.
Definitely. So some movies that I didn't get to see that I plan on watching probably going into 2017. I think for the most of us, most Oscar movies are in limited release right now. So even though they will be remembered as 2016 movies going into the 2017 Oscars, they are not really available to us unless we want to drive out to LA, which is a good hour and a half drive. So with that being said, La La Land,
supposedly one of the best movies of the year.
Nocturnal Animals.
Oh, I wanted to see that.
Passengers
so
is out this weekend. Not necessarily as good as people were talking about, but that is a movie that I wanted to see. I didn't get to see Warcraft. I didn't get to see Jason Bourne.
I didn't hear a whole lot of good stuff about those ones later, so I don't know if we missed much. But
yes,
I think they're worth watching.
But I do want to say, is like me being a big video game fan, Warcraft was something that I should have saw, but like I'm just stingy with my money.
Garrett.
So like, if it doesn't get good reviews, I'm gonna wait for it to be on video, and I just didn't get a chance of doing that ladder of my ladder option, which is getting it on video.
Yeah,
definitely will happen. So it may influence this list as well as the accountant. Didn't get to see that. You got to see that.
I did. It was good. Definitely not top 10, but it was a good movie. Absolutely go see it if you haven't.
Fucking Moonlight. If there's a movie that we need to see as far as like, see this fucking movie. Moonlight, man. That movie's gonna rape the Oscars, and I don't mean to use that word, but it's the truth. It's gonna be brutal seeing Moonlight.
Isn't Manchester by the Sea?
Manchester is. I have a feeling Moonlight is our movie of the year.
Think so?
I do. It's either that or the acting. I think more acting Oscars are gonna go towards Manchester by the Sea with Casey Affleck and stuff. But I could see those two flipping, whereas like Manchester is the movie of the year and Moonlight gets all the acting. But
could be.
Those two movies, man, I need to see both of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say I still need to see Manchester by the Sea before I can speculate.
100%. But and I didn't get to see what's it called?
Light Between Oceans?
Yeah, that, but I don't want to see that. You want to see that.
I want to see it still, but I mean, I heard good things.
High Water was the one that I didn't get to see.
That one's great.
I feel like will be on my list.
That will be on my top 10. I don't know what number.
Spoilers, dude.
No, sorry.
What movies didn't you get to see? I mean, you saw more than I did, actually.
God, I wanted to see so much this year, but I didn't. I'm going to just list off a few real quick. Almost Christmas, A Street Cat Named Bob, Moana? Allied, Miss Sloane, Man Down, Fences, Eddie the Eagle. Well, Fences just came out, so. Whatever.
I saw Eddie the Eagle. Hey.
You saw Eddie the Eagle?
Yeah.
Right on. Was it good?
That movie. I'll throw it in later.
For sure. But I did want to see that one. Whiskey Tango Foxtrot. Don't ask me why I want to see that one. I just do.
I don't think it was as bad as people said. Like, I don't think it was like a bad movie. I think it just came out at the wrong time.
Yeah, like the thing is, I'm gonna see it for sure, and that was the thing is I was just really hoping I wasn't setting myself up for a letdown.
Should have been the sisters of this year, as far as like dropping next to Road One as a good like counter comedy. Like
gotcha. And then Green Room. That was Anton Yelchin's one of his last movies before his really sad death this year. Wanted to see that one.
Green Room I hear is amazing, man.
Really? Okay, great. Then I can't wait to see it. I cannot wait to see that one. Amazing. Elvis and Nixon. That's another one I didn't get to see this year. Let's see. A Street Cat Named Bob. I can't believe I even put that one on here. And then Snowden. I definitely wanted to see. That's just out on DVD this week as far as the rental store is concerned. So I'll see that one soon. I'll let you know how that is.
Snowden. I got another good one, I would say, as far as shit that should have been seen by me or Kyle, but wasn't happening.
Oh, and then Jackie. I said it on the Facebook page.
Jackie, man. You're bringing this up right now?
I told everyone on the fucking Facebook page that I was going to see and review Jackie, and I never had a chance to do it. Just stuff came up, and I will see that one, though, and whether it's a review that makes sense at the time, or if I just throw it in as a retroactive review on our show, you will get my opinion on that movie at some point.
Like I said to Kyle, I didn't actually announce announce this, but we're going on tour, boys, and we're definitely going to have, I don't know if it's going to be once, I don't know if we're going to spread it out like one every week or one every day leading to the Oscars, but we will have every Oscar movie broken down as far as the Best Picture nominees, and any movies that we need to just touch on. Jackie will probably fall into that with Natalie Portman's performance, of course, but definitely look out for those. We have not Hell or High Water, but Hacksaw Ridge you saw, as well as Arrival. We do have
later on too.
Both of those are recorded. May do some re-recordings to give updated opinions, but we're definitely working on that, so be ready for all those Oscar movies to have some reviews coming your way.
Yep. And then the last movie I didn't see but I really wanted to was The Edge of 17. It's kind of I guess it's a teenage girl coming of age movie, but fuck it, dude. That looks like a great movie and I want to see it, so judge me all you will.
No judgment zone here at After the Previews.
You want to go into movies that we did see that didn't quite make the top 10?
Yes. See, I think we should wait to do that. I think we should do the movies that we don't like.
All right, for sure.
Because I don't want to give away some of these movies that are on the movies that like didn't make the list, because then people are going to be like, oh, well, then these movies are definitely on the list. You know, I don't want to spoil the list.
Yeah, that sounds good.
But some movies that didn't pan out too
just
well.
Didn't do it
This usually is a whole separate podcast for most people, but I don't want to spend too much time shitting on this year, because I felt like the lackluster.
This year shit on itself, dude.
The lackluster summer block, but that's summer season, man. We had a good 4 months of just shit. Like,
yeah.
Just as far as high budgets go, you know,
absolutely.
You had Green Room, like you said. You had Moonlight even dropped a little early as far as like people seeing it and word getting out. So there were trickles of good stuff. It's like Hell or High Water, same thing. But man, dude, oh man, like
the shit this year.
Yeah, there's some real quality movies as far as blockbusters go, but a lot of it's shit. Just to throw it out there, these are some
real quick though. Before we get into this, we've been calling them shit. This is our opinion. These are movies that did not do well for us. If you liked these movies, I'm not shitting on you or your opinion of them. I've assumed Garrett is not either.
Yeah. I may list your top 5 movies right now as far as my movies that I didn't like, and that's okay, guys. This is just what I felt in the theater at the moment.
Yeah, it's just that it didn't do it for us.
It left a little bit of distaste in my mouth, if you will. But no offense to that, you know. To each its own. But yeah, with that being said, Alice Through the Looking Glass 2, or Alice in Wonderland 2, Through the Looking Glass, whatever you want to call it. I did end up seeing that movie, unfortunately, and it was not good. Nowhere near on my top 10. Probably the worst movie I saw this year. Going into that, this movie is probably the best of my least favorite movies, if that makes sense, but I have to put it in there because it isn't in my top 10 and it did not live up to my expectations. No matter how I spin it, it just didn't. I didn't walk out happy. There were scenes that made me happy. There was ideas that were executed nonchalantly, I would say, that like unfortunately we're just nonchalant, you know what I mean? Like, it just didn't hit me in the face like I needed it to, not like its predecessor did, and that is X-Men Apocalypse.
Okay, that's in my list too.
Okay, so yeah, that's a movie that just, it wasn't a terrible movie. It was a solid 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10 if you ask me.
I genuinely enjoyed the movie. I just know it wasn't good.
Okay. Yeah, and like, I don't know, man, the more I don't want to watch that movie again, because the more I do, I think I'll just get like
you'll get angry that you're watching it,
and it makes me sad because First Class, and especially First Class, that movie has such a special place in my heart, and like, I don't know, I just want Matthew Vaughn back on the X-Men series really bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna try and not talk about the plot, by the way, and that just failed. So definitely. It's gonna be very hard.
I mean, that one you didn't go too deep into it. So we're
next one, Finding Dory. It's the story about... No, I'm just kidding. Finding Dory.
I'm like, is this motherfucker serious?
Yeah, it was just a retread of the idea of Finding Nemo, but spinning it onto an ancillary character that people... I didn't think...
It was a money ploy.
Yeah, I mean, it's $1 billion movie. And as far as, like, all the movies Disney put out this year, I think that's the worst as far as, like, the biggest grossers.
Yeah, it didn't hold a candle to Zootopia.
And if that's your worst movie, then you're all right. Like, it's not a bad movie. It just falls in that, like, 6 and 7 category where it didn't blow me out of the water. But it kind of just did everything that I expected it to do, unfortunately. Next are 2 movies that... I'm sorry, guys. We're not DC haters here. But I'm also not a liar. Yeah. So I'm gonna just get these out of the way. Batman v Superman and Suicide Squad. The double punch, the 1-2 from DC Studios. That DC extended universe is just, you know,
They hit us with a combo, man.
Yeah, man, they really tried, and that's the cool thing is that we got so many different comic book movies this year is because a lot of studios were trying different stuff, and like even though 3 of them,
I respect their attempt.
Definitely, these are three. If 3 of them are on my bad list, but I have a bunch of other ones to pick from that did end up on my good list and honorable mentions and stuff, then like it was a good year. You can't win them all when you have that many in one genre coming out.
You know what? If I have to say something positive about those 2 movies, though,
they all made money, by the way.
Well, that's in like financially, yeah. Financially, yeah, they did great. But no, I mean like for me, or not for me, I guess, but in general for just what people should be thinking about as far as those 2 movies go, if you're thinking about something positive, is they both put 2, or they both didn't put 2. Between the 2 of those movies, there are 2 very different women, independent female characters in those movies that really like. It's kind of it's a symbol of empowerment, I guess, but just in 2 completely different ways, and I kind of like that. And maybe some people don't see it that way, but and I guess my opinion on that doesn't matter because I'm not a woman. But I think that there are people out there that can take both from Harley Quinn and from Wonder Woman and be like, wow, like that made me feel good about myself as a girl. Okay. And I like that. I think that that's cool, and I hope that they both did that for someone. But overall, yeah, no, not good movies.
Just to close the bear trap on your fucking leg. Yeah, not a good movie.
Just I'll bring you in with that positivity there, and then just kill it.
Full disclosure, didn't see Ghostbusters. Probably wouldn't like it.
I heard nothing but bad things.
Yeah, and that's the problem. A movie that I didn't get to see that I think I will fuck with are 2 of them actually. Is the BFG and Pete's Dragon. I do want to see those eventually. They are rent to movie. I'm not going to go to the theaters for that. No offense to whoever made those movies, Spielberg and shit.
Disney, aren't they?
They're both Disney, correct? But one's by Spielberg, BFG, and I mean, A Monster Calls is the better version of the BFG.
That's true.
We'll watch that.
That's another one I didn't get to see, and that's a good. Yeah, I'm an idiot.
Yeah, you'll see that. We mentioned that on the preview, so we're all good.
Yeah.
Next week's episode, which is already recorded because the internet is a flat circle. What do you got for movies that were lackluster in your eyes?
Okay. The Finest Hours looked amazing in trailers when I was watching it, and again, if you liked this movie, I'm not trying to shit on you for it. It was just when I was watching this movie, I just got super bored. The whole thing felt disingenuous. Both Chris Pine and I don't even remember who else was in that movie. Just everybody else in it. I think Casey Affleck was the best actor in there. Not that that's not saying anything. I mean, he's a good actor, but
it isn't saying.
I guess so. Yeah,
I'm just fucking with that. I like Casey Affleck.
Yeah, no. Casey Affleck's great, but yeah, I mean, even his part. And like I said, I think his performance was the best. It still wasn't all that believable, and that's what I look for in a movie is like, can I see this playing out in real life? Can I? And yes, it was a true story, but do I believe that that's how it went down? That's how they said things. That's how they reacted to everything. No, I didn't. So I got bored during Finest Hours. Hail Caesar, again, that was actually a good movie. I just was kind of let down because I figured from the Coen brothers, man, the guys who brought me Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? I figured I would get something like on that level of like, whoa, man, this movie. But nah, it was just a good movie. It wasn't great.
Would you say it's a good movie, bad Coen Brothers movie?
Yes.
Like for their pedigree?
Yes.
Because that's all I like.
It was underachieved.
But we did see young Han Solo in that movie.
That's true.
Alden Ehrenreich.
Yeah. But even his character was kind of weird. I mean,
all I'm saying is that if you want to see some early footage of what this guy's chops is, seeing him in a Coen Brothers movie, even if it isn't the best Coen Brothers movie, is still a good opportunity for viewers.
It's still a good movie by all means too, and nice. Like I feel like I shouldn't put it in bad mentions, but it just wasn't what I was expecting. So there you go.
Definitely.
Hardcore Henry. That one looked fucking awesome, and it apparently was just like it got so little review, and the only few reviews that I saw were bad, so I just immediately dropped out of my scope of interest.
That's a movie that would have benefited from like being the first VR movie.
Right. Gods of Egypt, that movie just took, I mean, talk about creative liberties, man. You're talking about the stories in the Bible, and if anyone knows me, like, I'm not one to judge people for changing stories in the Bible, but I mean, the way that they change these stories, like, Jesus, like, it was too much. We already talked about Batman and Suicide Squad. London Has Fallen. My opinion, probably shouldn't have even made that movie.
Bro. We gotta get you like a better filter system. I know you love all movies, but
I like to give everything a chance.
Did you pay money to see London Has Fallen?
No. No. I think someone in my house rented it or downloaded it or something.
Cool. Because
No, I'm not gonna pay money for that after Olympus Has Fallen.
Yeah, that's why I was like, man, like Kyle, I know you love movies, but there's gotta be some type of quality control.
That's like paying for Paranormal Activity 4, which I did.
Okay, no Judge Joe.
I was not stoked on that.
But I said no Judge Zone. I didn't know you were gonna be pulling that one out. That's
No, I'm judging me on that one, definitely. And then last but not least, Ratchet and Clank.
You saw that? That's so good, man. I'm proud of you.
I was hoping it was going to be better. It didn't. I don't know. Maybe I got to rewatch that one, but it didn't bring me back to my PS2 Ratchet and Clank loving days.
Yeah, I mean, fuck, dude. We had 3 video game movies come out this year. And, one comes out Friday, and it's literally the worst reviewed one of them all, and the other 2 were pretty bad.
That's right.
Warcraft is looking like an Oscar bait movie in comparison to Assassin's Creed, from what I'm understanding.
I'm still going to see Assassin's Creed regardless of the bad reviews, though.
$5.
Exactly, $5 a night. I
mean, I get you. I don't know.
It's
I heard it's boring.
It's Cotillard, and it's like, it looks like they're going off of the first trilogy. I mean, they're not. It's not a Desmond Miles, but it's the same feel as that first trilogy of Assassin's Creed games. And
I don't know what to do with that. I think what happened is they just put whatever script they had sitting on a table. I think so many people were just like, when's this movie coming out? Like, all the people backing it, and just the video game and Ubisoft having a movie section now.
Yeah,
like, they don't know what the fuck they're doing as far as, like, movie making goes. So, like, in my opinion, I think shareholders and investors got impatient. They really just were like, when the fuck is this movie coming out? They're like, we'll throw a bunch of money at Fassbender and Cotillard or whatever. Boom, shoot whatever script we have. I bet that script wasn't even done. I bet they were writing that movie as that shit was going.
Yeah, like I'm anticipating a bad movie, but I just want it to be good. But
there's zero chance.
Not with this many bad reviews. So anyway, yeah, that's my bad mentions. Get into the top 10?
Hell yeah. Shout out to my boy Emilio Paredes for having a song with Young Lungs coming out. That's fucking sick.
Nice. Random.
Yeah, super random, but I just saw that on Twitter, and that's like the most important news of the day, I feel like. So yeah, go check out soundcloud.com/locateemilio. Anyway, sorry.
Anyway, alright, so we're going to go same way that we are going to, or maybe we've already done it, you don't know, it's just flat circle, the internet is. I'm Yoda.
Or Garrett.
Well, I'm Garrett and Yoda.
Okay.
But anyway, we're going to do this. I say 1, you say 1, I say 1, you say 1, you say 1, I say 1, whatever.
Yeah, 10, 10, 9, 9, yeah.
Yeah, so what is your number 10 movie?
Boy, oh boy. When I made this list, Kyle, I was nothing but a young feller.
As opposed to now when you're...
Now I'm a man.
You're a slightly older young feller.
I'm an older, younger feller. Fuck, dude. I have to take something off and put it into my honorable mentions. And I can't figure it out because I just realized I had 11. Alright. Let's do this, boys. Garrett's number 10. Coming in at number 10 is Star Trek Beyond.
Oh, that.
That movie, I think, had a lot of problems with the marketing with that Idris Elba character. Idris Elba didn't do a bad performance. It was just the fact that, like, they show Idris Elba in human form in many marketing trailers, and then the big reveal of that movie is that he's a human turned into this, like, alien. That's the biggest reveal of the thing, is him sitting in front of that fucking Skype call. He's like, I am the blah blah blah, or like whatever the fuck he's saying, and that literally that scene is in 3 trailers or some shit, and you're just like, bro, like, if I know that man, like, human form Idris Elba is in this movie, yet he's only in that one scene, and yet that's your main scene that you're trying to put, like, the marketing. I didn't
watch trailers for this, so I didn't.
They fucked the marketing on this. I'm not gonna not watch it. I didn't like that first trailer, by the way, with that Beastie Boys song. I thought that was a little weird, but the way that they used that song in the movie was brilliant, and I think that was the best use of a song this year. Deadpool used some cool songs.
Yeah, I was gonna say Deadpool did some cool shit with music.
As far as like utilizing that in an action set piece, it felt like a John Wick or like a Kingsman church scene in equivalence. So I think that's a movie that definitely deserves to be on the top 10.
Cool. I'm gonna go with 10 Cloverfield Lane for my number 10.
Hell yeah.
I still don't know, because I'm that kind of stupid, but if this is at all tied to the original Cloverfield.
It's an anthology series from what we understand, because we have God Particle coming out next year, which is apparently also a Cloverfield movie. Okay. And that got moved. All right, so God Particle got a March release date, and it was a part of the Bad Robot productions of Legendary Pictures, but that got pulled, or it's still coming out in March, but it's not a Cloverfield movie nowadays, and now there's a movie coming out in November that's untitled. That's a Cloverfield universe movie of next year, but that could very well be the God Particle just getting moved to November to get retooled. Because basically this 10 Cloverfield Lane movie started off as The Cellar, got repurposed with Dan Trachtenberg under the Bad Robot Productions. J.J. Abrams came in as an executive producer, probably gave him some notes. Reshoots happened. That whole last act is pretty much what we're looking at.
Right.
With some dialogue cues in the beginning, of course.
Yeah, for sure.
But that's pretty much what we're going to be getting from now on. It seems to be is that we're going to be getting this, how do you put it? This Cloverfield universe.
Cloverfield extended universe. They're not really tied together, but
exactly.
Kind of, maybe one day this movie comes out that ties all of them together somehow.
I think it's just a disaster film thing. I think they're just giving different spins on the disaster film itself.
That's cool. I like that. The reason I picked 10 Cloverfield Lane from my top 10, though, is because though it was, seemingly ambiguously tied to Cloverfield, I didn't enjoy the first Cloverfield. Actually, really deeply did not like that movie. And when I went into 10 Cloverfield Lane, I was like, well, I don't even know why I'm watching this. There's no way. If this is at all related, there's no way this is going to be good. I went in thinking that movie was going to suck. Came out of that thinking, oh my god, if I didn't see this movie this year, I would have been so pissed.
Interesting.
That was a great movie, and I feel like everybody's character performance was spot on. Yeah, that's 10 Cloverfield Lane, number 10 for me. What's your number 9?
My number 9 is I think it's one of the main comedies of the year that I think just in the end, I don't think this movie's gonna stand the test of time. I think the overuse of the F word in different parts of that movie really inhibit I think it doesn't allow it to grow well with time. I think because we're over I just think this movie was very fuck heavy and very, I don't know, and that's not a bad thing because it really did make me laugh, but some of that dialogue isn't good dialogue in the end. But the fact that this movie got made for the budget, no, because it's a sausage party.
Okay, yeah, that's my number 9 too. That's funny.
Number 9. Oh, really? Cool.
Yeah.
Pound it. Twins.
We didn't tell each other, by the way. Yeah,
we just kind of went to different sides of the room and just kind of conglomerated a list together, and then he'd whisper a movie, and I'd be like, "Fuck, I forgot about that one." So glad we both got Sausage Party around the same part of our list.
Basically the same reason too.
Yeah, we saw it together. It was great. I thought it was honestly, I thought it was great.
No, it was a great movie, but I think you're right. I don't think that will stand the test of time. And yeah, some of the dialogue in there was stupid, 100%. But a lot of the dialogue in there was funny, and I think the message that was behind the movie, even though it wasn't it's not hidden, it's pretty blatantly obvious actually, but what they're trying to say with it, I genuinely enjoyed and I pretty much agree with. So I'd say it's definitely top 10 worthy, but like you said, not going to stand the test of time with all the F words and everything and the just overusage of swearing and dick jokes and shit. But then I say and shit at the end of that statement, so who am I to say? But yeah, no, it was a good movie. So number 9, Sausage Party for both of us. Right on. Your number 8?
This is where it gets into the spots where I feel like I get kind of sad because I don't know where to put everything. But I think this is where this guy goes. And at number 8, I have The Jungle Book. The Jungle Book is a visual masterpiece. I think it's brilliant. I just don't think these are all great movies, and I think Jungle Book is honestly, like, if I had reviewed it when we saw it, I would have given it a 10 because of what it did. And I don't want to take away from the masterpiece that it is, but I feel like for me to put that at like the first half of my list, I'm lying to myself for some reason. Based on the movies on this list, I like those more. Great movie. Left me with a fucking huge smile on my face. I'm kind of interested in Lion King. I don't want him to fuck it up, but the idea of this new technology being applied to these Disney movies
Isn't the Lion King Guy Ritchie?
No, that's Aladdin.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, no. Jon Favreau, luckily, is doing Lion King. Good. And after watching him do what he did with the Jungle Book, I'm a little bit more... I'm not trepidatious because... you're
fucking good word, man.
I'm trepidatious because you're remaking the Lion King, but I'm not because if there's anyone that has a movie that was out last year or the last fucking 5 years that is proof of concept for maybe making a live action Lion King work, it's this Jungle Book movie. So if you haven't seen it, some of the most crazy CGI. It's like Planet of the Apes, but without any humans and not as gritty.
Or like about racism,
and they're not sexist to other animals and or animalist to other animals, and not only including apes. Like, where are the giraffes during Planet of the Apes? No one's talking about that. There's horses, fish, and apes.
I'm sure there might be birds.
There are birds. We've seen birds. But yeah, I'm just throwing that out there. I want to know what the dichotomy of the giraffes in the Planet of the Apes universe. Planet of the Giraffes would have been a better movie. Anyways. That was my number 8.
Jungle Book made my honorable mentions.
Nice.
Only because I have obscure ass movies.
So what's your number 8?
My number 8 is...
Well, you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know, really.
Right.
My number 8 is Bleed for This. True story, Miles Teller. Honestly, I can't think of who else was in the movie because they're all like strange names. But Miles Teller was fucking great in this movie. Really picked up that Jersey accent. I believed every second of it. I mean, I know it was a true story, but I believed their performances, and it was cool. I thought it was gonna be a cheesy, like, feel good, like, oh, he came back from adversity, or he came back from tragedy and was able to, prove against the odds, and it was gonna be a predictable movie. The ending, sure, it's a little predictable. If you don't know the story, it's not, but if you know this type of movie, yeah, the ending's predictable. But what I like was that a lot of this movie and a lot of the best parts of this movie took place before the accident that you see in the trailers. There's actually a lot of movie before that accident. So this was cool. It was something I wasn't expecting in a movie that I was expecting. It's hard to say. It is and isn't what I was expecting, and I like that. So Bleed for This, number 8. Go see it if you haven't. Go see it again if you have.
Do it. My number 7 is 10 Cloverfield Lane. Kyle already kind of went down on that. I even kind of stuck
I'd go down on that.
Oh yeah, I'd go down on that for sure. John Goodman, David Gallagher is his name, or John Gallagher? Yeah, John Gallagher Jr. He's fucking sick in that movie. I like him a lot. I don't even watch Newsroom, but I just like the look of that guy. I like the look of how he plays his characters. I'm just a fan of John Gallagher. I hope I'm not fucking up your name, sir. And then, what's that girl's name? Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
Yes.
That lady, man. She is
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
She's, yeah, man.
10 Cloverfield Lane.
What I just feel like, I mean, she's done a lot of movies in between, but what I do want to throw out there is just that if there's a female protagonist of the year, I want to give it to her.
Oh, for sure. That's tough. That's tough.
I think Felicity Jones did great, but I can't let the idea of Star Wars and how fantastical and like heroic of that story is overpower like the performance that she did. Like, the idea of being a heroic person in that movie versus a Star Wars movie is a given in a Star Wars movie. Is there's always going to be someone saving lives.
She's set up as the hero.
And even though it is a female, we did just see Rey. So maybe that isn't something that's like, oh my God, there's a female at the lead of a Star Wars. Like, we just had
that's
that.
True.
So as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to give it to her. My runner-up to that, though, didn't do as much badassery as I wanted, but know that she could, because there was one scene where it did kind of show that off, is Deadpool's female.
Marina Baccarin.
She was great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
But yeah, 10 Cloverfield Lane. Don't need to dwell on it anymore. Go see that movie.
Definitely. My number 7, I'm going to give that one to... Oh, this is tough. I didn't really number them well. I'm going to give it to Fantastic Beasts. I know a lot of people are going to be like, how is that not closer to number 1? Fantastic Beasts was amazing. Absolutely amazing. Like, in my opinion, there's no better return to the Harry Potter world, the Wizarding world, whatever you want to refer to it as. I think they did something in that movie that I was not confident that anybody could do. And I really liked that about it. But at the same time, I think that they were able to do very well as far as like money-wise, because the universe has already been established. It's already something that people love, and maybe that might be another reason why I thought so highly of it, because I've only seen it one time, and that one time I was so amazed by little nuances in the movie that I may have overlooked some flaws that it could have. I don't know. I didn't see any right now, but if I watched it again, I could. So, number 7 for me is Fantastic Beasts. I'm sure I don't need to tell you to go see it if you haven't, because if you haven't seen that movie, it's for one of 2 reasons. 1, you're just not interested at all, or 2, you haven't had the time, but you really want to. So, number 6, Garrett?
My number 6, friends. Guys, I want to throw this one out there. And this is my number 6. Correct?
Yes.
Fuck. Alright. Yep, I'm doing it. Going in, boys. Number 6, Nice Guys. Think that movie's great. I think it's funny as fuck. I love Russell Crowe. I love Ryan Gosling. Just watched it the other day. Again, I have it on Blu-ray. Great Black Friday pickup for this year. Probably my best pickup. Fantastic movie. I think we have a download code to give away as well. So look out for that coming soon. First motherfucker to shout out after the previews in the iTunes reviews. Just say, hey, this show is great. Or, hey, give me that Nice Guys review.
Yeah, I was going to say, literally, if you comment on our shit right now.
Give us an iTunes review. If you hear this, if anyone is out there, we will send you a copy of Nice Guys on digital download, Ultraviolet. Great movie. Speaks for itself. I don't want to give anything away.
That movie is in my honorable mentions because I know I saw it this year in theaters. I can't remember a damn thing about it, but except for the fact that when I watched it, I loved it. I know at the end of the movie, I was like, God damn, that was so good.
Hell yeah.
But I can't remember for the life of me what it's about, so I will be seeing that one again. My
number 6, yeah.
Yeah, my number 6 is Arrival. I know that's higher up on your list. I know it is.
It's on my honorable mentions, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know.
And full disclosure on Fantastic Beasts, that's the biggest high-profile movie that I didn't get to see, so that will not be on my top 10. Continue, sorry.
True, for sure. Yes, Arrival. I mean, Garrett and I reviewed this movie.
We're holding that shit, and it's under wraps. It's under embargo.
There's so much to be said about why this movie is amazing.
I could do an Arrival cast every week if I wanted to. I like this movie a lot.
I don't want to talk too much about it here because of our review, but
we'll get into spoilers too, just like by nature of talking about this movie. So.
Yes.
I'm fucking stoked that you fuck with it this hard though.
This is.
I was worried that you wouldn't even have it on there.
No, absolutely, dude. This is literally one of the best sci-fi movies I've ever seen in my life.
100%.
In my life. I know that's only 23 years so far, but still, like, this is one of the best sci-fi movies you will ever see until they make one that's, this good again. But
we may or may not talk about this later on.
Yeah. Arrival. That's number 6 for me, cool. And part of me is mad at myself for putting it so low on the list, but I don't know if I have reasons or valid reasons. I just love these other 5 movies. So anyway, you're number 5.
My number 5, man. Now we get into the shit sides of life. So my number 6 was Nice Guys.
I feel like you were having this problem at up around 8, though.
I was, because I realized that I had 11 on my list of 10, and I had to knock one out, and I didn't want to. I was like, no, these are all quality films. Number 5 is Sing Street. This is the movie on Netflix right now that you need to go see. This is a movie that better win best song at the Oscars. They better perform. This is a movie coming out of Ireland. Very, very independent film. It's about like the whole hair days of rock, dude. And I think there's a lot to be said in this time period, in this area of the world, and the fact that these kids came out and like auditioned. Like these are all no-name actors and actresses that are now getting more work because of this movie. It needs to be seen. It needs to be watched. It's on Netflix. It was criminally underseen in the fucking theaters, and I think a lot of that had to do with the release and the company and the production company. It wasn't the biggest guys behind them. Sing Street, though, please go watch that. Do yourself a fucking favor. It'll bring a huge smile on your face.
Right on. I'm gonna go see that. I haven't even seen it yet.
Netflix.
Cool. I would see it tonight, but I'm
a big Screen Junkies watcher, and that's all they talked about for like months on months.
Nice.
And they had the actor on, and he was a cool guy. He sings so good, man. He's ridiculously good. Sing Street, number 5. What you got for us at number 5?
My number 5.
I feel like this is where we're gonna get some repeats, but maybe not.
I don't know. Maybe.
Continue.
My number 5 was a movie called Priceless.
Definitely not seen by Garrett.
Yeah, this was as under the radar. Yeah, for sure. This movie was as under the radar as it gets. I mean, maybe not, but I saw it.
It's pretty independent.
Yeah, it was for sure. It was definitely an independent movie. Didn't get a ton of marketing. I don't even think I saw any ads for it on TV. But this movie, it was beautiful. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I get emotional about movies a lot. I cry during movies. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I fucking cry during movies. But this movie was literally one of the most beautiful stories I've seen in a long time. And if there's one thing I want you to take away from this, it is go see the movie Priceless. It's everything, dude. I fucking love this movie. I don't know how much else, like, what else to say about it without giving it away. It's this movie about a guy who you know what? No, I did a review on this movie. I'm not gonna get into the plot. It's really fucking good. All the characters are super believable, and the message behind this movie is something so, like, it's so noble that they're trying to use this movie to do something positive for the world and for our society, and I think that's beautiful, and I've overused the word beautiful at this point. But definitely go see Priceless. I have to stall because Garrett's not in the room. Oh man, you know who made Priceless? Priceless was made by these two brothers, and I don't know if they even have any movie credits in their past, like before this one. I don't think there's anything big on there for sure. But Joel Smallbone and I can't remember his brother's name, but Joel Smallbone actually starred in the movie as well. I don't know if he co-directed it, but I know he starred and co-wrote the story, which is loosely based on true stories of forced prostitution around the country. It's not, the movie itself isn't necessarily a true story, but it's based on real accounts of people who have gone through stuff similar to it. So again, it's just a totally beautiful movie. Like at the end of it, I really did just, I kind of just lost it a little bit. Like I didn't cry during this one actually, and I'm surprised I didn't. No. That's not true. I did. I totally did. There's one scene where I was just like, no, come on, no. But it was good. Definitely a great movie. Go see Priceless. Garrett's back, so I can finally ask him. Garrett, what is your number 4 movie?
Sorry, guys.
That's okay.
Nocturnal Animals, a.k.a. My Lifestyle, autobiography by me. No, I'm just kidding.
Wait, did you get to see Nocturnal Animals?
No, it's a play on the fact that I work at night.
Oh, gotcha.
Which is why I had to leave halfway through to go get some coffee.
Yeah, for sure. I thought you saw it. I was like, no fucking way, you gotta tell me all about it. I want to know it.
Do you want to recap 10 through 5 real quick?
10 through 5?
Yeah, so my 10 was Star Trek Beyond, then 9 was Sausage Party, 8 was Cloverfield Lane, 7 was Nice Guys, 6 was Jungle Book, I may have those switched. Yeah, I think it was Jungle Book was 7, Nice Guys 6, one of the two, and then 5 was, of course, what did I do? Oh, Sing Street. There we go.
Okay, this is going to be tough because I've been erasing my notes.
No worries.
And,
my bad. I know you had Fantastic Beasts.
yeah, Fantastic Beasts was in there.
Arrival was in there.
Arrival.
Priceless, you just named.
I just did Priceless. Jesus Christ, what else did I have in my list? Bleed for This.
Yep.
There's 2 more, Kyle. You got this.
Oh, well, we got to move on.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. You guys can go back and
This
listen
is
to
my
the
number 4, correct? That's what we're on?
Yeah, number 4.
All right, man. You know, I think this is the movie I'm going with, man. I think this is it. I think I got it. I think I'm ready. I think I'm good. Wait, I have 4 more? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. I think by process of elimination, and if you know me from these podcasts, you will understand where my 4 are. Maybe the order will surprise you. And I may regret the fuck out of this, but number 4 is Captain America: Civil War. Civil War is a great movie. I think it's a fantastic end to a trilogy. I think Captain America 1, 2, 3, 2 and 3 specifically with what it did after 1 is one of the more underrated trilogies. Like, no one's highlighting the fact that trilogy actually ended up being good across the board. There wasn't a bad movie, and it invigorated on the franchise every single time. That is what sequels should do, and adding Spider-Man, Giant Man / Ant-Man, my boy, my fucking boy. He's my boy. Don't fucking you see Ant-Man, be like, oh shit, he can't be my boy because he's Garrett's boy already. That's how much of a boy he is to me. Anyways, I'm a big fan of Giant Man, and when he got big, when I opened up that Lego set at work and I saw Giant Man like 6 months before the movie,
for you.
I like cried my fucking eyes out and then screamed around the store. Like, everyone knows me as like a huge fucking nerd and I'm just a weirdo, but I literally paraded around the store with this fucking thing. I was like, he gets big, he gets big, he gets big. Like, just melted, dude. And when it actually happened, and to see like the Star Wars reference with Spider-Man spinning around and knocking him out, like, so much goodness.
I saw this in a movie once. This is
Right.
a real movie.
Right.
How old is this kid? I love that, dude. That was so good.
The banter of the teams and adding that many characters that you've already been exposed to, and maybe because we were exposed to most of these characters in other movies besides Black Panther and Peter Parker, but we know Peter Parker.
Yeah, I was gonna say we've kind of been exposed to Peter Parker.
Definitely,
for a
we
good
get to
10,
GIFs.
20 years.
It's not like Black Panther where Chadwick is the first person to ever play that.
Right.
But adding that many people to a movie can get crowded and hard to handle. But the Russo
Yeah, we saw
brothers
that with
said-
Batman v Superman.
Definitely. But that was fucking 4 people essentially.
But a
And-
fuckload of stories they were trying to tell.
But what? Yeah, man. It's like, dude. Like, if there's any people who can handle the roster of like 50 characters potentially for Infinity War, then these are the people. The
Yeah,
people
definitely.
who just showed us Civil War and been like, oh, we did this easy.
I have nothing but faith in the Russos for
Definitely.
the future of Marvel movies.
Sorry if I just highlighted something on your list. That's coming
No,
up.
you did not.
Cool.
You did not.
What's your number 4?
Before I forget, and it's only because I want to mention this. One of the arguments that people were having about Batman v Superman trying to justify Jesse Eisenberg's character of like, oh, he's not really Lex Luthor, he's Lex Luthor's son, Junior. And,
Yeah, that makes me more mad.
Yeah, that makes me mad too. And what made me even more mad was my realization recently that someone in their argument was, well, that it doesn't matter if you don't like that because whether you like it or not, he is Lex Luthor's son and not really Lex Luthor, and he's a character that we've never seen before. That's not true. In the fucking TV show Smallville, that wasn't Lex Luthor either. That was Lex Jr. So that wasn't a completely original character from Jesse Eisenberg, just so people know. Anyway, off topic, getting back to my number 4. This is where it gets tough for me because these 4 movies they're all great for different reasons, but I'm gonna have to go with Hacksaw Ridge for number 4. I know I just slaughtered the word beautiful with Priceless, so I'm not gonna tell you that Hacksaw Ridge is beautiful. This movie amazed me. Like, it's a true story, and with true stories, I feel like a lot of studios go with the cheesier routes in their not roots as in like ROOT, route like your direction, but they go the cheesier route with the okay, let's just make him look as good as possible, and let's make his story seem like a story that everyone wants to live and stuff like that. But this movie was more of like a true story in the sense that I was like, oh my god, dude, this guy actually went through all of this willingly? What the fuck?
Yeah.
Oh my god. But I mean, everything, like the horrible emotions that you feel in the beginning of this movie, and it's because of the movie, but it's not because of the way the movie's made. It's horrible because you feel bad for people in the movie. Everything bad that you feel in this movie gets turned around in the best way towards the end and at the end, and every like I've said it in the review. Oh, that's right, you haven't heard the review yet, but actually, I gotta redo that. Yeah, I gotta redo that Hacksaw review. But you'll hear in there, I'm gonna spend a lot less time on it than I did on my first run through. But the characters, every character in this movie, 100% believable. And like I've said, that's what I look for in movies, that I can believe that what I'm seeing on screen is actually what happened, or is what would have happened had it been a true story, if it's not a true story the movie's about. Anyway, Hacksaw Ridge, number 4, amazing movie. Definitely go see it. I'm for sure if this movie isn't at all mentioned in the Oscars,
It's Mel Gibson's fault.
That's true.
Well, no, I think we should forgive Mel Gibson. So I think that sentence may have sounded more contradictory to what my previous points on the show. But what I do want to say is that it's our fault for not giving Mel Gibson the chance to acknowledge his great movie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
But regardless of your opinion of Mel Gibson as a person,
Yeah.
he made a wonderful movie in Hacksaw Ridge, and Andrew Garfield in the front of it, I think, was the perfect choice for Desmond Doss. So go see Hacksaw Ridge if you haven't seen it. Again, go watch it again.
Andrew Garfield, man, having a great year.
Yeah.
Great year.
Number 3?
Number 3, sirs. Rogue One.
Ballsy move, not putting that at the top.
It's not my favorite movie of the year.
That's true. I get. What am I saying ballsy for? Like
Yeah.
this is some judgmental.
Nah, but it is, because
you know, there's people that are gonna be like, "That wasn't your favorite movie."
This movie could have easily, my 2, 3, and 4 could have easily all have been 2. They could have all have easily been 3. They could have all have easily been
That's
4.
how my top 3 are. My 1, 2, and 3.
This is just how it ended up. Rogue One, not to spoil anything, because we'll probably talk about it in a minute. That movie, just saw it on Friday, and then I saw it Thursday night.
Did you see it again?
Went back Saturday.
I want to see it again.
So good. That third act, if I could give an award for third act of the year, it's that movie. If I could give an award for best action set piece, I would honestly, that whole third act is some of the craziest. All I'm gonna say is Star Destroyers, and that's enough for me to get antsy and giddy. And I feel like there's a lot of like. I feel like there's a lot in this movie that could be like. You viewed it like the whole movie in a sense is fan service, and I hate the argument going around that this movie is just pure fan service.
Oh,
there's a lot of fan service, but I think this movie actually like had a beautiful ending, and I think there's so much poetic like justice to be given to this ending of the movie.
If there was one thing I wanted to say about this movie, it is poetic justice. That was, oh my god, that term is so perfect for this movie. And thank you for hitting that note, dude. That was good.
I was thinking about that though, like the poetic, like it's such a beautiful ending, and like. Go see the movie. We're too close. If it hasn't
been spoiled for you online already,
I think we're too close. This comes out within a week of the movie coming out, so if you haven't seen it, you're a fucking weirdo. But like, I just want to touch on the idea.
Yeah. I mean, we're not going
to spoil it. There is a spoiler review up on YouTube.
There are thousands of spoilers on the internet right now. If it hasn't been spoiled for you already, I'm so happy for you. But yeah,
Rogue One, number 3.
Like I said with my a minute ago, my top 3 movies can easily switch 1, 2, and 3. So
God damn.
Since we're already talking about it, Rogue One, I'll put that as my number 3. So that way we can just keep the beat going and not have to come back to it later.
All right. Is that really like an appropriate place for you though? Like, is that an accurate reflection of your list?
Yeah, definitely, because it's definitely higher up than the previous 7 movies that I had talked about.
Okay.
But it's so hard for me to say that I liked it more than these other 2 movies, because the reasons I like all 3 of these movies are so completely different.
For sure.
So Rogue One I loved because this was another return to Star Wars.
Yes.
In the sense that we waited a while to see. I mean, fuck you. It's a return to Star Wars. Force Awakens, that return to Star Wars was awesome. I loved it, but I think that movie insisted upon itself so much that when I go back and rewatch Force Awakens, I don't think I get the same feeling that I get when I watched Rogue One. So I think in the sense that they are a return to Star Wars, but they're not as long. It's not a long-awaited return like Force Awakens was. This return to Star Wars was so much better than The Force Awakens, in my opinion, that there's just no way that I would even put these 2 movies in the same category. I guess they're both Star Wars movies in a sense, but Rogue One didn't even feel like it felt like it belonged in that universe, but it didn't feel at all related to the storyline, and I love that. And you know what's crazy is that it didn't feel related to the storyline, but it literally is directly related to the storyline of Star Wars. So I love that that Gareth Edwards and who wrote this? I know it.
Story by Gary Whitta, and then there's a lot of help from various other 2 people. But
okay.
The story the initial script was by Gary Whitta and Gareth Edwards.
Right. Okay. So everyone who was involved in putting this movie together, I don't know what exactly those last minute reshoots were, but whatever.
It's just that last act.
Yeah.
Have you seen? Honestly, once you see the movie, a very interesting thing to look up on YouTube. We don't have a video, so go and look for it somewhere else. But it's
scenes that were in trailers that didn't make it to the movie.
Yeah, and there's so much
from the 3rd act.
There's like that beautiful scene of Krennic on the beach walking in the water.
So cool,
right? There's so much like imagery in that, and like motifs, and just the white on the white being like such a pure thing, and then have it being such a dirty,
and everything behind it, the flames, the
spoiler alert. That's that specific shot. Not to give anything away from the plot, but that specific shot isn't in the film. There's a lot of other ones though, and you know
if
that
you
those
love
rumors,
that scene the way that we just described it, though. I mean, clearly Garrett and I loved that shot, but if you love that shot the way that we did, you're not going to be disappointed by it not being in this movie still.
You're not going to be disappointed at all, because that 3rd act is still one of the best 3rd acts. The best 3rd act I've seen all year. But what I do want to say is, what was it? No, I just lost my train of thought. That sucks.
Shot's not in the movie?
Yeah, I just want to say that, like, the fact that there's so many 3rd act shots that aren't in the movie, and there's some 1st act shots, but I think that was a lot of dialogue retooling. And then you even saw the retool of Forrest Whitaker's character to age him more, to show more of a passage of time.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, like, wasn't that a thing that we talked about before, like where we were talking about being scared about the reshoots, and you were like, dude, Forrest Whitaker doesn't even have the same haircut in both trailers.
but then they full on gray him out.
Yeah, they literally like explained that, and I was like,
funny.
Okay, they got us.
They got us. So the guys who came in to take over from Gary Whitta were Chris Weitz and Tony Gilroy. Tony Gilroy wrote, most famously, in my opinion, he wrote, I was like, I know that name like a motherfucker.
Yeah.
So he wrote Nightcrawler.
Nice.
And then Chris Weitz is known for American Pie, About a Boy, and the Twilight movies.
Oh, well.
and the Golden Compass. I was going to
say, you pulled me in with About a Boy, and you dropped me off the edge with the Twilight movies.
Jesus.
But, I mean, he is an accomplished writer, I guess. Like,
he wrote Ants. That's dope.
Hey, that's awesome.
That's
Ants fucking cool.
Damn, that's sick. That's such a sick credit to have. Like, I wrote Ants. And
You mean that movie that came out around the same time as A Bug's Life was really actually a better movie than A Bug's Life, but nobody gave it the credit because it's Pixar versus DreamWorks?
I was on board until you said all that. Anyways, yeah. number 3s for us, but you can definitely see the credence to the reports that we had on probably earlier in the year, not too long ago, but earlier in the year we had reports that there was a good 40% of that movie retooled. I don't know if I'd go that far, but definitely 30% at least was factored into these reshoots.
Whatever they did, it was for the best because that movie was so fucking good. Number 3 on our spots. Number 2, what do you got, Garrett?
This is where it gets shitty. Deadpool. Deadpool is number 2 for me. Mainly because I was in between Civil War and Deadpool and Rogue One. As far as like those all can be kind of interchanged because they both had me leaving just happy, and that's why I go see movies, is to walk out stoked on life. I think Deadpool, while it didn't have the most in-your-face third act, it also had one of the best jokes on a third act in a blockbuster by him leaving the fucking guns, which you find out is something that just they got cut from the studio. Like they're like, no, that last set piece is not actually in the budget, so figure it out. And the writers luckily were on set thanks to Ryan Reynolds. Bring him on here, and they wrote that out there, and it's just such a good joke. But it lends to the idea of what they did with what they were working with is. Anyone can anyone can take these type of properties and apply a $200 million budget and have a movie come out. Right. But to take a $30 million budget with these same type of properties,
it's like mildly just over 50.
Oh, okay. I think that's with marketing though.
Maybe.
Yeah, the early reports were 35.
Either way, 100%. Shit's like far under 100.
A quarter of the number that I just said. Yeah. At most, like Kyle said, 50 is still fucking phenomenal for that movie. But the idea of doing that, I think, is what propels it to the number 2 at my list. Is that looking back, if I were to look at this list, I think Deadpool is going to be the one that stands out as the red herring. Like, that's the one that, looking at the list, that's the one that did the most different with the least expectations and just blew them all out of the water. What movie was going to beat Passion of the Christ almost? It didn't, but as far as rated R movie, like, to not have Jesus in your movie and come close is absurd, and to have be rated R, and to be on such a low budget. Like, you know what I mean? Like, all these movies are so calculated. No one calculated that.
Jesus in your movie.
I'm just throwing it out there.
No, you're right. It's true.
Deadpool is my Jesus, and that is a shirt that should have been made this year, and it probably was. Deadpool, number 2.
Deadpool.
Ryan Reynolds too. Fucking.
His year's been great, dude.
That's what I was about to say. He's like the. I don't want to say like newcomer of the year or like even actor of the year, because I don't think that's true either, but there's something to be said to what he did this year because he was such a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, definitely. Making my top 10 list, it literally hurt me inside that I didn't put Deadpool in it. Deadpool is not on my top 10. But
did you forget?
No, okay. I didn't forget. It was on my top 10 initially, but I took it off because of the rest of these movies, just for the reasons I like them. Deadpool, to me,
$58 million budget, $782.6 million.
My God. Oh my God, dude. Who makes over 14 times their budget?
No one.
Oh my God. Anyway.
Right.
Anyway.
It's so good. That's like, to put it in perspective, like, the Blair Witch Project is such a phenomenon that, like, those movies don't really get made unless it's, like, found footage horror movies, like, for such a low budget. But, like, when Blair Witch Project came out, like, that movie had a budget of literally, like, $50,000, $100,000. Like, such a small number, and that movie made so much money in comparison. This is, like,
the benefit of being one of the first found footage movies, though, because
they literally made a movie in their backyard. Like, that's what the movie is, and that's why it's so scary, is it works that way. See, the remake of Blair Witch,
I hear stories to this day about people like, dude, I couldn't believe nobody was helping them. Like, it was on camera. I'm like, that shit was a movie, dog.
They pitched it though. They went to college campuses being like, have you seen this person? And like the character. So they had such a good marketing ploy. But like, this is the equivalent of that. Is I don't think we'll ever see a movie being made for such a low budget ever again on such a mainstream level that did. I think it was just a product of its time. But this is a good example of a movie that shouldn't have made this much money. The studio was scared of it. And I think when you put people in a box,
when you red light a movie for 11 years.
Yeah, but I'm saying that like, that's their own fault. Like, this is proof in the pudding. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I feel like when you put people in a box, they're forced to do certain things and be they're forced to be creative. And I think in this case,
Take notes, Hollywood. All other studios in Hollywood have the balls to do something that you might think isn't a good idea.
Just make good movies, though. You know what I mean? Because
yeah,
movie could have been bad and it wouldn't have made any money.
Yeah, exactly. Have the balls to do something like this, because if someone loves something enough and you give them the freedom to make something that they love, there's probably a good chance that a lot of other people are gonna like enjoy it just as much.
100%.
Clearly, that happened. My number 2. Oh, it pains me to make this to say this, because you just said Deadpool, and that's such a great movie, and I know in my heart that this movie's not good. I love what it is from an artistic standpoint. This is purity.
Ah, shit.
I love it. It is literally, in my head, my goal is for people to think of me as a purist, because I like the idea of that, and that is what this is. Yoga hosers. I fucking loved Yoga hosers. Kevin Smith, you shit on yourself so much, but I love Yoga hosers. I hope he hears this. Yoga hosers is 180. Like I said, my top 3. My top 3 can be interchanged. This could have been number 1. Could have been number 3. This is one of, no joke, and I'm not.
It's not a judgment zone, guys. Yeah. I said this about 4 times.
I know, but I feel like there's so many reasons to judge him.
This is the one that.
Yes,
for sure. No.
Yes.
Kevin Smith, if you're hearing this, just know that this man thoroughly enjoyed your movie and continue.
There's so much to be said about Yoga hosers. When you watch it, I mean, like I said, I mean, like everybody, even Kevin Smith knows, like, this is not a good movie in the sense that people are looking for like a solid Act 1. They set up this. Act 2. This happens. Act 3, it's resolved. It's not your typical, like, it is your typical 3-act movie, and it's done in such a corny way, but that corniness, it's a signature of Kevin Smith's, and I like that he's not changing what he's doing to appeal to a massive audience of people. Like, he could have easily went out and said, okay, I'm gonna get the best writer in the business. Maybe he couldn't have easily done it, because this shit probably would be like mega expensive. I don't know what his disposable income looks like, but I'm sure he could have gotten more money for this movie to do it better in the, I did air quotes around that, but he could have done it better in a way that more people would be like, oh my god, Yoga hosers, it's a great movie. No, it's not a great movie, but what it is in this world of people doing things for the money, like, how much can I make off this money, or how much can I make off this movie, and how many people are gonna see this movie, and is this movie gonna make me able to pay for my next movie that I want to do, where it's all about money. This movie it's so obvious when you watch this movie that it was not about money. This was Kevin Smith literally being like, I want to make a movie about some Nazi sausages terrorizing a store in Canada, because I just want to give my daughter a movie to be in, and I feel like that'll be fun. Oh, and yeah, her best friend can do it too, and also Johnny Depp's in it. So I get to fulfill the dreams of my best friend Jason Mewes, who's always wanted to be on screen with Johnny Depp. He did that. He got to let his daughter star in her very first movie. It's not her first movie that she's in, but it's her first starring role by her dad. So that was probably a super fun experience. She got to bring her best friend Lily Rose Depp onto the movie with her and co-star with her in this movie, and she got to work with her dad because, like I said, Johnny Depp's in it. It was just, honestly, it's literally, you're watching people's dreams come true on screen, and I think that's amazing. I loved that movie for that reason. So that's why Yoga Hosers is my number 2 movie of the year. Take from that what you will, and say what you will. I don't care. You can comment on our Facebook page. You can comment on anything, whatever you want. Kyle, you're an idiot, but I love that movie. If you haven't seen it, go watch it at least. It's pretty funny, and in the goofiest, corniest way. You know what else? Another good thing to say about this movie? This movie, language-wise, probably not appropriate for like preteen and young teenage girls. But if you're okay with your teenager hearing that kind of language, which honestly I don't think that people shouldn't be okay with that, it's real. But if you're that kind of person, show your young daughter this movie, because this is a movie about two girls who are not, they're not your Cara Delevingnes. They're not supermodels in action movies. They're regular girls, and I don't mean that. I don't mean any disrespect to Lily Rose Depp or Harley Quinn Smith. I just mean that they're not misproportionate, like fake, unobtainable images for girls. So they get to be badass on screen and show girls that, yeah, you can be badass and you can also be just a regular person and you can still be super cool and super goofy at the same time. And I think that's cool. So go see Yoga Hosers. Show your kids.
Yep.
Number 1, Garrett, favorite movie of the year?
This is the best. This is the most quality film. This is a masterpiece. This is the one film where I probably will retroactively give a 10 out of 10 to. I forget what it was in our review, but it's fucking like 9.5, 9.7. Spoiler alert, that review hasn't come out yet. Already been talked about a little bit by Kyle. This is Denis Villeneuve.
You know, I just not that I want to...
Arrival!
Not that I want to correct you. I just heard interview with... Jake Gyllenhaal, and he's been pronouncing it Denis Villeneuve.
Yeah.
Villeneuve. Or, yeah, Denis Villeneuve.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he says it. I don't know if that's right or wrong.
I'm gonna just fucking kill Jake Gyllenhaal, because I don't think he's a good source. Anyways.
I just feel like since you worked with him for so long, you might know.
Maybe not.
Makes sense, but you could be right.
I don't know. We're off by like a syllable. I don't think it's a big deal.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I'm not saying Villeneuve or whatever the fucking...
Villeneuve?
Nah, people would... Yeah, they're adding like fucking 17 syllables to the E part. As long as you're saying Denis and not Dennis or Denny.
Yeah.
Like, you're fine, in my opinion.
Yeah, for sure. Anyway, Arrival. Tell me about it. Why is it
it's a good movie. It's just the most perfect movie that you can watch. As far as science fiction goes, it reinvigorated the genre. And yeah, that's all I really got to say. There's literally just go see this movie. It's a masterpiece. 10 out of 10.
Right on. My number one movie of the year for me, Hell or High Water. I went into the movie theater with my roommate thinking that we were going to see The Magnificent Seven, because I really try not to watch trailers, and at the time there's a lot of movies and I kind of forgot which one was which, and like Garrett mentioned to me earlier, the poster for Hell or High Water looked like way more of a Western than a lot of other movies, so I thought I was going to see Magnificent Seven. I didn't see Magnificent Seven, walked out of the theater thinking, oh my god, I don't even care that I didn't see the movie I wanted to see, because that was literally one of the best movies I've seen all year. And I think this movie came out in like June or July or August or something. But doesn't matter. That movie was amazing. It was a perfect commentary on very subtle parts of American society that people don't like necessarily talk about as much as, other big topics in the news. But there was so much that they said in the movie, like the dialogue. This movie is hardcore dialogue driven, because it's not an action movie, it's not a thriller, it's not some suspense flick. It's a drama, but the dialogue makes this movie. The things they talk about, the way that you can tell that the characters feel about the things they're talking about. I don't want to give anything away in this movie. I just want people to go see Hell or High Water and feel what I felt watching that movie. It is the most American movie you will watch all year. And everyone's good. Fuck, dude, this movie was so good, man. And I like Ben Foster. He always has these like ancillary roles. I don't know, I can't think of anything that Ben Foster starred in, but this is one of my favorite Ben Foster movies.
I can tell you that stupid Chariot movie.
I didn't even see that one.
The fucking remake of the classic. I don't know. Doesn't matter. He stars in terrible movies. He needs a new agent.
But he supports great movies. And this one was Hell or High Water. I don't know if I can say 10 out of 10 because I feel like I'm super generous with my ratings on movies. Like I think everything I've rated this year has got like over 8.5. But this is my favorite movie this year. I think Hell or High Water.
Sick.
Definitely go see that.
Yeah, Ben Foster had a terrible year as far as movies go. Like, he just starred in the worst fucking movies possible.
Really? What do you got?
Literally, like, I feel so bad for this guy because his agent fucks him. Finest Hours.
No, he didn't star in that one.
Oh yeah, there we go. No, I wasn't wrong. What?
I don't think he starred in Finest Hours. I think he was.
I'm just saying, as far as movies go, he had a terrible year.
I gotcha.
Finest Hours, Hell or High Water is the only fucking commendable one, and he's actually getting some Best Supporting Actor noms from Critics' Choice Awards and such. Warcraft, Inferno.
God.
Poor guy. I thought he was the lead in what was that movie Toby Kebbell was in? The Chariot movie. Why am I spacing on what the fuck this movie's called? Because this is probably one of the worst movies of the year.
I'm completely blank, and I have no idea what you're talking about.
I got you. I'll show you in a minute. Because you're going to be like, oh, yeah, Ben-Hur.
Oh.
But Toby Kebbell was the guy that starred in Warcraft and Ben-Hur, not Ben Foster. But Ben Foster, I just feel like, is continuously just getting screwed over as far as roles, but he's so good. Same with Toby Kebbell. Man, get different agents, guys.
Yeah.
Do you want to get into your just missed the lists?
Yeah, definitely. Garrett talked about Civil War earlier. I feel like that one goes without saying. We both talked about Deadpool a bit and Doctor Strange. Mm-hmm. Was that on your list, or was that?
No, that's on my honorable mentions. Well.
Okay. That's what I thought. Yeah.
I didn't think it was that good. I think it's just above Apocalypse. I think it's a good movie. I don't think there's plot holes. I just didn't enjoy it as much as I wish I did.
Yeah, Doctor Strange was, I feel like maybe it was just the origin story, superhero fatigue that
just by the numbers. I knew what was going on.
Yeah, exactly. Like there was nothing that really blew me away about that movie except for the one scene where you see all that weird shit the first time he really experiences magic.
I liked that a lot.
That part was really cool, and
I wish I saw this movie in 3D. That was the only thing I kind of fucked up on.
Maybe.
But I don't think it would have made or break it. Honestly.
Yeah, I don't think that would have made the movie like a ton better for us. So, yeah, Doctor Strange I liked, but it just wasn't amazing.
Yeah. Is that the end of your?
No. I got more. I
just want you to rattle them off. And
for sure.
Rattle mine off.
Dirty Grandpa. Zac Efron, Robert De Niro. I thought it was a pretty funny movie. I really enjoyed watching it. I watched it multiple times actually.
Oh yeah.
So Dirty Grandpa, that one was cool. Nothing amazing about it, I guess, but it was good. And then I have The Infiltrator with Bryan Cranston. This movie flew under the radar. I don't know. I feel like I saw a ton of trailers for it right before it came out, like the week of, and then it came out, and I watched it. There was nothing wrong with the movie. I thought it was really good, but I guess it just fell off. Nothing. So I don't know. You're gonna have to watch that one yourself and decide if you liked it or not. I thought it was really cool. Billy Lynn's Long Halftime Walk. Thinking back on it more, like I said some really good stuff about this movie in the review that I posted, but looking back on it, this movie was kind of lacking in the story department. It was like, or not the story, I guess, like the story's good, but the actors were okay. Garrett Hedlund was good. He always is. Kristen Stewart she was good. I mean, this wasn't a standout role for her, but it was definitely better than those Twilight movies. But it was just like, I don't know, something about this movie, it was super corny in parts, and the trailer makes it look like it's going to be a lot more of an emotionally charged movie than it really was. So whatever my rating was on the review, I'm gonna take it down a couple steps, maybe like a 2 points, not like full like 7 to 6, maybe like whatever. If it was 7.5, then 7.3. I don't know, whatever. I'm gonna take that one down a little bit. Billy Lynn, it was a good movie. Go watch it if you want to. If not, then I don't know. I guess you're not really missing a ton, bitch. Unless you have some way to watch it in 4K at 120 frames per second in 3D. Yeah, all two of you.
All two of you.
If you have some way to watch that in that format, then yeah, absolutely go watch it, because it was definitely, like, visually the most realistic movie I've ever seen. Like, it literally felt like I was standing next to them the whole way through. 13 Hours, that one came out this year. I don't know. I like to read into conspiracy theories, and I don't know. I didn't even finish the whole movie because I kind of got bored halfway through. I don't know. Maybe I was just tired. I need to rewatch the movie. I'm gonna rewatch the movie and go all the way through. But yeah, 13 Hours. It wasn't bad from what I remember. I didn't even finish it. And then last on my honorable mentions is 999. I thought this movie was awesome. Like, if I could replace one movie from my top 10 and put another one in there, 999 is what would be replacing any of those movies. This movie was super cool. I don't think it got the reviews that I believe it deserves, but it was just a great story, and I don't know if I could see it happening, but if it did happen, I'd totally agree with everyone that was in that movie. So go watch 999 if you haven't seen it. Really cool movie. And fucking ton of big actors in there. Anthony Mackie's in it, Casey Affleck, Woody Harrelson, Aaron Paul, the dude who plays fucking Daryl on... Is it Daryl? Yeah, Daryl on Walking Dead. Daryl! What the hell's his name?
I don't know. I don't watch The Walking Dead.
I can't think of it offhand. Doesn't matter. Ton of actors in this movie. You're gonna like it. No, it's not John Barenthal. Part of me thinks John Barenthal's in that movie, though.
I don't know.
I don't know.
What else you got? Anything?
No, that's it. That's the last of my movies.
All right, I'm going to make this quick. Eddie the Eagle, cool movie. If you want to see Hugh Jackman smoke a cigarette while going down a ski lift, that's cool. It was as Wolverine as it gets. Everybody Wants Some, great movie. Wasn't Dazed and Confused, despite... I'm spacing on the director's name. I can't believe I'm doing this.
Linklater?
Yeah, Linklater. Thank you, man. I think he's a great director. I think Boyhood is an achievement within film, and I think Dazed and Confused is one of the greatest of all times as far as like
I finally just watched that movie.
Great movie. Great college, high school movie.
I love Dazed and Confused.
This movie kind of took the tone of that, the soundtrack, the music, everything. It's a good movie. Just didn't make my top 10. A movie I liked far more than everybody, I feel like.
Wait, that was all about Eddie the Eagle? That's what you were talking about?
No, I said Eddie the Eagle, and then Everybody Wants Some is another.
Oh, Everybody Wants Some. I didn't know that was the title of the movie. My bad.
No, you're good. Yeah, so Eddie the Eagle is just a movie that I enjoyed, that I saw. I paid some money to go see that. Cool. I'm a big fan of Taron Egerton, so I'm going to go see probably most of his movies for the next few years until he proves me wrong. Everybody Wants Some, great movie, like I said. Just kind of vibes with the type of person that I am. The Girl on the Train, that is the movie that I enjoyed far more than anybody else who reviewed that movie. And I don't know why. I think this movie had me on my seat. It was probably my most suspenseful viewing of the year. That and some of the scenes with John Goodman kind of put me uneased on a...
I was going to say, like, I know how you get with anxiety sometimes, and, like, the you made it through these movies, like, that says something.
Yeah. It wasn't a Tusk where I'll save that for another episode where I'll tell my Tusk story.
I love that story.
That story's fucked. Fuck you, Kevin Smith. We're going to send Kevin Smith 2 tags. You saying Yoga Hosers is number 2 of the year, and me saying fuck Tusk for giving me an anxiety attack.
Yeah, well, you're not the only person.
A public anxiety attack is a shitty situation. Especially at a movie theater.
You are one of millions of people saying fuck Tusk. I'm not part of those millions.
No, but I think it's a fucking phenomenal film. I will never watch it again.
No, absolutely. Like, you're one of millions of people saying fuck Tusk, but your reason for saying it is so much better than everyone else's.
Yeah, people are just writing it off. Another honorable mention, I don't think this is like a good movie necessarily. I think it's an okay movie, but it's a movie that I didn't hate, and I think it does need to be on the honorable mentions because in a lesser year it would be in the top 10, and that is Doctor Strange. Kyle just talked about it. Nothing really to be said here. I just wish that there's more stylistic flares from Scott Derrickson. I think he's a brilliant horror director, independent filmmaker, and these movies are really good at bringing someone from the independent side, making them sign a contract, and then basically just handing them a finished movie and just saying, like, shoot it. You know what I mean? Like these, we literally have the movie made. We just need someone to say
like,
cut and shit.
Say cut when you need to.
So like, I think James Gunn is an example of someone who had his filmmaking tendencies blare through these properties, whereas like I feel like Scott Derrickson's, I didn't really understand what his style was. Whereas like it was just a Doctor Strange movie. It serviced the MCU. I look forward to a sequel. I hope he returns, because I think they could definitely, if they go into the dream realm, Scott Derrickson is the motherfucker to do that 100%, and I need to just get that off my chest. The movie that literally is on my top 10 was 11 technically, because I can't count, and then had to drop it halfway through on the 11th hour of the show. Zootopia, man, I think this movie is fucking so good.
How did that not make my honorable mentions?
No worries, I said it for both of us.
Yeah.
This is the movie that I think we were going into July, and it was my favorite movie. Like, essentially, like, it was just like, you know, Civil War was there, but Zootopia kept being there. Rewatched it, and that's what was the deciding factor, was a rewatch that took me off of this list. Not a bad movie, still stands up. I just think they play too much into, like, the messaging of what they're trying to show you. Yeah, and, like, the equality message is just pounded over the fucking head. But, like, if you take that exact situation and apply it, like, if you take the message out of the movie, then that movie sucks. Yeah. And if you take the message, and if, like, you apply the message to any certain, like, I feel like you can find that message in a lot of shit, and it was just very over the top, and I felt like after watching it again, I felt like it didn't come through as hardcore of a movie.
I feel like given 5 minutes, I could probably list, like, 10 or 11 movies like that have that same message.
Exactly.
But I think that it was, as far as Zootopia is concerned, I think it was really cool that they put that in there. And as far as beating it over the head, I agree with you. They definitely pounded that message in. 100%. But at the same time, this movie is really, like, as much as our generation loves to cling to these animated movies, and we fucking love these movies. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to downplay or talk down to anybody who loves animated movies, because if you know, I mean, if you listen to this show, you know I watched Inside Out and I cried my eyes out. I love animated movies, but they really are for kids. And I think them pounding that message in kind of helps when kids are getting that message and they're learning, like, that. The kids growing up after seeing this movie, and, like, any kid who loves this movie is going to be like, wow, everybody is equal. And, like, maybe they don't equate it to, like, the racist things that are going on in the real world because they don't know about that. Yeah. But they are hearing that, like, and they are having it pounded into their heads. Like, everybody can do things if they do it their way, and people should be encouraged to do things right, and people should treat everybody, like, equally, and you know, not be dicks to each other.
Yeah.
So that's the one good thing I can say about them pounding a message, but I agree with you.
What I do want to say is that Sausage Party did make my list, but I think this is the animated movie of the year. I still haven't seen Kubo. I talked so much about how you need to go see Kubo, and I just didn't do it myself, but Kubo undoubtedly will be the top of my list. Like, I can't see a world where that movie doesn't live up to the expectations that everyone hyped
Kubo's
it up.
stop motion, right?
No, it's not. I don't think so. But it's by the studio that did. Is it? I don't think it's by the Box Trolls studio, but I could be wrong. Do you have anything to add about, like, what was your favorite animated movie of the year? Because I think Sausage Party is good for what it is, but as far as, like, I think that movie made my top 10 because I enjoyed it so much in the theater, and that's such a good first-time watch, whereas, like, I don't think we can say that the animation's better, the story's better.
Yeah, no, the animation
plot,
was
like,
not better, because the animation in that movie was on par with, like, Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, Zootopia's animation.
I think
I don't mean anything bad about it. I just mean, like, the Zootopia looked almost like real living animals.
It's made by Leica, and they're the guys who did Coraline, Paranormal.
Okay, I was going to say, I'm pretty sure they did Coraline.
Yeah, so they are the people who did Box Trolls.
Yeah. So anyway,
Leica, man. They make such nuanced animated movies.
I love that, though. They made it a point to not do sequels and, like, bought properties and stuff, like, or maybe not bought properties, but, like, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
They're not making a Star
original
Wars
shit.
Movie. Yeah.
This is going on like an hour and a half. So do you have anything you want to add?
No, not really. I mean, It's been a good year for movies, and it's been a bad year for movies.
And just so we can kind of maybe update people, I'm going to do a quick box office rundown and a Reddit roundup just to end up the shit.
For sure.
Week of December 16th through 18th, 2016. This is the weekend box office results. We do not have a normal episode this week, so if you stuck around till now, you are now getting some of the tidbit information that we usually give out every single week.
There's absolutely no way that Rogue
Friday.
One is not top box office movie.
After the previous podcast, every Friday, we break down the box office and news with you. But coming in at number one, like Kyle just said, Rogue One: a Star Wars story, making $155 million on 4,000 theaters, $200 million budget. They're okay. They'll be all right. Number two from number one is Moana, making $12.7 million, down 31% on a cool 3,000 theaters. Coming in at number three, down from number two, is Office Christmas Party, making $8.5 million, down 49%. Coming in at number four is a new release such as Rogue One, as well is Collateral Beauty. Definitely went for that counter programming. Probably didn't work out to as much as Sisters did with the Force Awakens last year. The Fork Awakens is some weird Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs spinoff. That's a Will Smith movie. Lowest Will Smith debut ever. $7.1 million. Coming in at number five to round out the top five, down from number three, is Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them, making another $5 million on 3,000 theaters, but it's dropping rapidly.
I can't believe they made that much money when people have the option to see Rogue One.
$207 million total in the United States on a $180 million budget. You know they're pretty stoked with that because their worldwide total is going to be higher. Coming in at number six, up for number seven, is Manchester by the Sea, as it gets some more wide release. Slowly get into 1,200 theaters this week. $4.2 million for them. Number seven, up for number 15, is La La Land, $4.1 million, up 365% because basically no one saw it. It went from 5 theaters to 200 theaters, so it's in a legitimately limited run. Like, this is the definition. That 200 theater range is like, it's not super limited. Like,
that's 200 just in America, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Arrival coming in at number 8 still, down from number 4 though, which is, I think we finally just saw this movie's pitfall. But I think what we got to throw in there is that Rogue One came out science fiction, or science fiction to the rest of the people, but it's fantasy adventure and more.
Shit, that was more military than anything.
But I'm saying Star Wars as a whole.
Yeah,
is
I totally
world.
get what you mean. Yeah,
but I want to point out that Manchester by the Sea and La La Land are the two above Arrival, which are also quality films. So I think the quality film season is happening, and when you have actual quality films like in theaters and not just the blockbusters, then they're going to start fighting for each other. Because I think a lot of the similar theaters that are playing Arrival are also playing La La Land in like an LA area and such. Coming in number 9 is Doctor Strange, making another $2.2 million, and 10 is Nocturnal Animals, 1.4. Still 1,200 theaters, not doing as well as I think they wished, but Tom Ford, man, he is a fashion designer turned filmmaker, makes a film once every 6 years, and I think every time he does, it's a stylistic and just achievement overall. That is your top 10 for the weekend box office of December 16th through 18th. Just to give you a quick little Reddit roundup, these are the most recent news items that just dropped to give you a little place and time of where we're at. There's a new picture of Katherine Watson armed from Alien Covenant, so go check that out. A Cure for Wellness trailer just dropped.
That's on our Facebook page if you haven't seen it yet. It's a trip.
There we go.
Dane DeHaan.
Facebook.com/group/after the previews. I guess there's a big article going around about Rogue One's CGI resurrections of previous characters and how that's a milestone for Hollywood, but also could be a warning sign.
Real quick, do you like that they CGI'd Grand Moff Tarkin, Peter Cushing? Or... I mean, I feel like that was necessary to this story, but...
I think if you read Catalyst, you'll understand why Tarkin is so important to the story of Rogue One, and it's vital that he's there. I think this is a better route than recasting that role, because you can't. Yeah. But I think that we also weren't there. Like, it doesn't look good. It looks passable, but it doesn't look good. Like, you know that is not a real person.
Right. Yeah, he's dead.
Yeah, no, but I'm not just saying, even with that aside, just saying that that's not Peter Cushing and saying that that's Grand Moff Tarkin, who is alive at this time period of this story that we're watching. Yeah. Looking at that, the CGI isn't there to have a face be completely digital and in a room full of moving.
Oh, you mean like parts. You could totally tell it was CGI?
Yeah, and I'm saying not just with it, like dead person aside on screen. Yeah, that's a cue, obviously, but like. It just didn't work.
Dude, shit, when I first saw it, I thought it looked better. I was like, dude.
I thought it was great, but then second watching, I'm like, okay, I get where people are coming from, is that this isn't a person. You can look at it again, and just
No, absolutely.
the ears, the way the eyes squint.
Yeah,
like
it's the wrinkles around his eyes that got me.
Dude, the eyes are fake as fuck. The eye, like the glisten in
Eyes
the
are hard
eyes.
to do.
Eyes are hard. People are hard to do, dude. Like the minute that they figure out how to just CGI a whole person, we don't need actors.
Yeah, but like that's fucked up, and like I don't know. I kind of
that's a whole other discussion.
Yeah. We'll talk about that on the next episode in 2017.
Definitely. Martin, speaking of digital recreations and de-aging and stuff, Martin Scorsese is going to be de-aging Robert De Niro in The Irishman, his upcoming film next year, I believe.
Yeah, I think that's different though. I feel like the dude's still alive. You can do that.
The Tony Stark de-aging, I loved actually. Like
Martin Sheen de-aging, I love.
Yeah,
Man.
It didn't look crazy, and that was Michael Douglas, right?
Oh yeah, sorry, not Martin Sheen. I'm an idiot. Yes,
It looks
Michael Douglas.
good, but you can still tell that it wasn't like you can still look at it and be like, this isn't Michael Douglas. And I'm not saying just because it's a younger version of Michael Douglas, but I'm just saying that like this isn't Michael Douglas. Like his fucking voice doesn't sound like that as at 35, which is what you're pitching to me. Like that's all I'm saying. It's like there's so much shit that they have to figure out, and it's like unless you're doing a full CGI character and then putting in a voice actor, it's hard to do. Whereas like Nathan Drake is a full fleshed out character in the Uncharted series, but that's not a real person by any means. That whole world's recreated from the ground up.
Same thing with
Zootopia or any fucking movie that's animated.
In Grand Theft Auto, Trevor,
yeah.
Dude actually looks like him. But,
great example.
Yeah.
My favorite news of the week, starting in 2019, if your film isn't diverse, you're actually not even eligible for a BAFTA anymore.
What's that mean?
British acting film.
No, if it's not what?
Diverse.
Oh,
like
sorry.
There's no like if it's just a whitewash movie. It's like if it's just a bunch of white people.
What if it's just a bunch of Asian people?
I don't know what the exact. We don't have time for that.
Yeah.
Martin Scorsese says the next film with Leonardo DiCaprio will be The Devil in the White City. So Martin Scorsese just name dropping movies.
Loves Leonardo DiCaprio, man.
We got to see it again. Come on. Disney becomes the first studio ever.
Wait, we got to see what again?
Martin and DiCaprio. Like obviously it's going to happen again, so might as well be this story that he's been very excited to tell. $7 billion for Disney this year breaks the record by far. Like only they will break their record if anyone does. And the last
you don't think Universal can do it with their Monster Universe?
No. There's a teaser for the Emoji Movie out. There's a new trailer for John Wick 2. James Gunn is involved in Avengers Infinity War. It would be so sick if James Gunn is a director on that movie in the end. Or directs part 2 or something. Or like, I want them and the Russo brothers working together seamlessly because those are the two motherfuckers who are doing it right now. James Gunn, holy fuck, dude. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. If you just stay tuned for our
go over to our Facebook.
Our preview episode for next week. Definitely going to break that down. And that is pretty much it. And Martin Scorsese is quoted this week saying, "Cinema is gone." So
wait, hold on. Tell me more. There's got to be more of a quote than just "cinema is gone."
That's the headline from I think it's Cinema Blend.
Okay.
It's bigstory.ap.org. So
if that
organization.
If Martin Scorsese is saying what I think he's saying, I just got even more respect for that dude. Because I think he's right in a way.
So yeah, this was not a typical episode, but that was the Reddit Roundup coming to you by way of reddit.com/r/movies and their various posters there. Go say what up. Tell them After the Previews sent you. Anyways, we'll be back in the new year with a full show. After the Previews podcast is the official name of this podcast. Used to just be After the Previews. I guess we'll announce that now. We're throwing podcasts in there.
Yeah.
And we're gonna definitely have shit going on youtube.com/After the Previews. So
2017 is gonna be big.
Definitely. Next week is a pre-recorded episode, as you kind of maybe already could have told by how we were talking about it. It was already shot. We're going on a little bit of a Christmas vacation, if you will. So that is what we're doing here.
Like Chevy Chase.
Yeah, just like Chevy Chase. But we're going to have shows for every single thing. We got some cool stuff on Instant Replay. A new episode's going up today. And looking into next week as well, they broke down, I think, 2016 this week. This week they broke down 2016 this year's all the sports stuff. But next week, that's the Instant Replay episode that you don't want to miss. And all I'm going to say is Pika. Anyways, and Games is live again on Wednesday. And then we will have another pre-recorded episode breaking down 2016.
Well, you're hearing this on Friday, so Endgames was live on Wednesday.
Yeah. Fuck. time. Anyways, my name's Garrett. You can find me at Yogurt on Twitter, YOGRRTT, as well as twitch.tv/consortation, which is where you'll find the And Game Show live this Wednesday and every Wednesday after that, except for actually not this one. Fucking A, goddamn! I just did the same thing. See, this is where I lack. This is where I lack, guys. But as an audience member, you.
I mean, technically, you're not wrong. They're hearing this on Friday, so
yeah, there will be an episode Wednesday, but there actually won't be because like it's Christmas and we're not going to be recording. Like it's literally the 1 week. But starting in 2017, every single fucking Wednesday that you want some video games in your ears, in your face, and this show is actually going live too in 2017.
Yeah,
that is a real thing. So twitch.tv/consortation is something that you're going to want to follow. And if you want that Nice Guys movie download, just go ahead and give us an iTunes review. Mention after the previews, give us a name or something or an email address that we can contact you at, and we will get that to you ASAP. My name is Garrett at Yogurt on Twitter. Follow Consortation on Twitter as well as SoundCloud.com/Consortation. Sorry.
My name's Kyle. You can't find me on the internet because I try not to spend too much time.
That'll change in 2016.
Yeah, definitely.
God damn it.
It'll change next year.
I need to go to bed.
But yeah, I mean, like you can find me on Instagram, I guess, if you want to look for it, but it's totally irrelevant to the show.
You're irrelevant.
Find me on Facebook at After the Previews. Just literally search After the Previews in your search bar on Facebook.
Facebook.com/group/After the Previews.
And you will find everything that I try to keep up with week to week, but, you know, crappy computer, can't really do a whole lot from home, so, you know, I do what I can. But that is all about to change because next year, we're getting on top of everything. So you can find us on After the Previews at Facebook. You can find me on After the Previews on Twitter, probably. It'll be After the Previews still because we can't afford an S. You can find it on ConstantRotation.com. Will be the new home for all of our news and everything After the Previews related. It'll be After the Previews blog, one of the tabs on there. So.
And if you're looking to see Assassin's Creed this week, at Nibellion has the tweet of the weekend saying, "Good news, Assassin's Creed fans. The movie is supposed to be boring as hell, which means you guys will enjoy it the most." Shit on.
That is the truth. All right, this has been After the Previews, and this has been 2016. Actually, no. Next week you still get another episode.
No, but this has been our 2016 review. Thank you for sticking with us as long as you have. We're going to be previewing 2017 next year if you haven't gotten that.
Next week.
Fucking next week, next year, whatever.
So,
I think it goes live on like the 30th or something, or like the 29th.
Something like that.
It's almost 2017. Most of you probably should be listening it on 20. Yeah, it comes out on the 30th. So, you know, enjoy your New Year's, and then check back in 2017 with that preview, so you know what movies are coming out that are about to hit you in the face. One of them might be Power Rangers.
Holy shit, dude! If that movie
Decent,
ends up being,
I'll be impressed.
Yeah, if that movie ends up being on my top 10, I don't know.
If that movie ends up being a movie, I'll be happy. Like, I don't know. I'm just very sad that like. Never mind. Check out next week's episode. We talked about it.
Definitely.
Go ahead.
This has been After the Previews. I've been Kyle.
I'm Garrett.
Please shut off your cell phone.